10. It's time for the Steelman and Thune at noon with Mike Steely and Parker Thune. Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome in to a Tuesday edition. It's Tuesday afternoon. Wait a minute, that's copyrighted.
It's a live rendition, Steely.
Okay.
It's a live rendition.
Do we have to pay the Moody
There's
Blues? That's a great song, by the way. Now, the youngsters probably have no idea what that song's all about, but it's a great song. But just want to make sure. How we doing, everybody? Good to have you with us. Here on the home of Sooner fans, Mike Steely, Parker Thune, here in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios on this Tuesday, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We got the Sooners at the number one team in the country tonight, the Auburn Tigers, 20-1 of the year, 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. Auburn's only loss this year at Cameron Indoor Stadium to Duke by 6 back in early December. Other than that, they've run the table. They're 8-0 in the SEC. But the Sooners have won 2 of 3. Parker Thune, does Oklahoma have any chance tonight? They're a 17-point underdog.
As long as Jeremiah Fears is on the roster at the University of Oklahoma, yes, the Sooners have a chance. It's not much of one, Steely. Auburn is really freaking good.
Yes, they are. They are led by a senior and a freshman, Johnny Broome, who is the 6'10", senior forward, averaging 18 points and 11 rebounds per game. But Tahad Pettiford, the 6'1" freshman guard from Jersey City, New Jersey, 5-star kid, lefty. He's outstanding. He's projected as a first-round pick. You see a lot of maybe late first-round, second-round selections for Johnny Broome. You know that Bruce Pearl's got a very talented squad, and the Sooners, again, are a heavy underdog tonight. Let's hear what Bruce Pearl has to say about tonight's opponent, the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma's 13-0. I think they were ranked. They won the Battle for Atlantis. I think they were ranked 12th or 13th at one point. And, of course, they started conference play and lost a few games. But they've won 3 out of the last 4 in conference. And so if you look at who in our league has won 3 out of the last 4, Alabama, us, maybe just Oklahoma. Maybe there could be another one. I don't know. But I think they're coming in playing well. This is an outstanding offensive team.
Sooners are going to have to light it up from three-point range. One of those Steph Curry kind of nights like Bryson Goodine had, right? Earlier in the season, he's been shooting the 3 very well. Oklahoma can get on a roll from 3, but Auburn is big. They're deep. They're athletic. They rebound very well. They really don't have a weakness. You've got to hope that maybe Auburn thinks, it's Oklahoma. We got this. We're at home tonight. But I want to see the Sooners in the game by halftime. That's my initial goal. What do you think? Like, don't get blown out. Don't be down 15, 20 points with 8 minutes left in the first half. Give yourself a chance. And a good start, some early confidence, I think would be huge for Oklahoma. But we shall see.
You remember the last time Oklahoma played a team that was ranked number 1 in the nation?
Was it Auburn?
It wasn't Auburn.
Who was it?
It was Alabama.
That's right. They beat Alabama.
And they blew the doors off them.
They did.
Out of nowhere.
It was at home, though. Yes.
It was at home. I mean, that's your backdrop as far as Porter Moser at Oklahoma going up against a number 1 ranked opponent. So he's done it once before. Maybe they can pull it off again, but I'm doubtful. Auburn just seems like the type of team that Oklahoma is not going to have enough firepower against, especially inside. You know, like, who's guarding Johnny Broome? You know? Who's hanging with that dude? Who on Oklahoma's roster is holding him in check?
Wiggy going to get some extra minutes tonight, maybe?
You'd hope so, because I don't think the answer is Sam Godwin.
Sam Godwin, over and under on fouls within the first 8 minutes. I'm setting the over and under at 2.5.
Really?
He plays hard, though.
He does. I'll give him that.
Yeah, you got to give him that. He plays his butt off, there's no doubt. But this team is super talented, and you're looking at maybe the best 2 teams in the country right now being Auburn and Duke. And Duke beat Auburn, obviously at Cameron Indoor Stadium, as I talked about early in December. Now, what's very interesting is Jeremiah Fears matching up against Ahad Pettiford tonight. Two fabulous freshmen. Pettiford, also a five-star kid, lefty out of Jersey City, New Jersey. They've certainly developed some players over the years. But it was interesting at Bruce Pearl's presser yesterday when Bruce Pearl started talking about Jeremiah Fears, and here's what he had to say.
Fears is a great story. This summer, we were recruiting him. I got to know his dad a little bit. His brother went to Michigan State, and his dad always said that this one coming up was special. His older son's special too, also very special kid. Jeremiah's got a little bit more size and length, and so I'm watching him play last summer in Peach Jam. He played this past summer as a high school, going to be a senior. I mean, he was destroying everybody, and so obviously we're recruiting him for the future, for next year, right? And next thing you know, he reclassifies and he's going to Oklahoma. It was reclass and go to Oklahoma. That thing was done deal. And wow, right? You talk about Oklahoma's roster turning around in a heartbeat. He is on the draft boards as potentially a top 10, 15 pick. And so he's different.
Bruce kind of caught himself there, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
He was going to launch into this whole story about how Jeremiah Fears' dad always kept telling him that his younger son was going to be better than the older son, and then realized, I probably can't dox his dad like that. I shouldn't say that.
But, we don't talk about this enough, but what a great way for Porter Moser to get a five-star kid into Oklahoma, right? The way he handled that, reclassified, comes to OU. Yeah, he's had a couple games in conference where, he's been overmatched physically and he didn't score, in the Texas A&M game recently, but he played fantastic. They were raving about him in the Vandy game over the weekend. There's no doubt the kid's got a lottery pick written all over him. He's got tremendous talent. But, again, I think that was a great get for Porter Moser, the way that worked out. So, Reformed Homer says right off the bat that Auburn fears Porter mania. The realist on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, make sure all the bumper music is live rendition so you don't have to deal with the copyright stuff. And, by the way, we are on YouTube now. The old man, I'll rant about it here in a little bit. I'll embrace it as much as I can, as much as an old man can. But we have High Fidelity Records on with us early this morning, and we'd love to, if you want to join us on YouTube, just go to YouTube, search KREF Sports, and we're live. We are live now on YouTube every day from noon to 3. Now, here's the other problem with YouTubing, ladies and gentlemen, all right? We all enjoyed tubing at the lake, right? Unless you were in Thunderbird and you fell into that filthy brown water. But if you were at a nice lake, no offense, Lake Thunderbird people, but you know what I'm talking about. We are playing a round of golf each and every day with a driver, an 8-iron, and a putter. Due to selling out to YouTube. No more cool music. It's the pancakes without the syrup. We may not even have some of our cool sound bites. How many mix downs did I do all the time when I was wasting time in the production studio? This would be good. I don't even think we can play, Nazareth's Hair of the Dog. Now you're messing with a, we can't even play that for Mule Shoe anymore. So they've said, guys, go out. You're going to play Oak Tree today, but you're going to have a driver, an 8-iron, and a putter. They've taken the tools out of the shed. I don't know if I can deal with that.
This is now the only soundbite we're authorized to play.
Okay.
I don't think that's copyrighted. That might be the only thing in our entire sound library that we can play without incurring the wrath of YouTube.
So
if
that's
they
our-
try to copyright strike us for playing mule noises, then I'll just go to war with the entire establishment.
You never know. Clark Stroud might be listening in, might alert YouTube. You never know what could happen. But so anyway, once again, I'm just saying make a short opener for the old man rants. Well, as I've said many times, I understand media is moving in this direction in many ways. The problem is every Tom, Joe, and Harry, I don't want to say the other word for fear of
It's
retaliation.
a name, Steely. You can say the name.
Tom, Rick, and Harry is on here now. These yardbirds, pardon me, that's a Traverism. These, complete buffoons. I'm on here, got my own channel. I copied down all you Insider and Sooner Scoop and and I'm going to present all this information as my own. Y'all subscribe, all right? That's what we're getting at there. A bunch of complete attention-seeking clowns in the circus. And because we've dumbed down the society so very much, like I said, it's dumb, and now it's dumberer, that some of these people think these people actually have sources and stuff like that. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just saying, I'm just telling it like it is. Like the late, great Howard Cosell did back in the day. See, he earned his way. He didn't start like some, oh, Dad, I got a YouTube now and I got a Twitch space. I made $4.28 last week, Dad. That's where we are. And that's why we're playing golf again with a driver, an 8-iron, and a putter.
Gator asks, if Steely is the driver and Parker is the 8-iron, who's the putter?
Our man Blake in here, he's got a smooth,
I like to think of myself as the putter.
He's got a buttery smooth putting stroke. I've seen it. It's really good.
Really? You've seen it?
He anchors it. He anchors the putter. Yeah, he just made the motion right there. Off camera.
Interesting.
So
I didn't know you guys had golfed together.
I can just tell the man can putt. There's
I
no
see.
doubt. I don't know if he's three-putted ever. By the way, they illuminated the old man's face a little bit more today. I said, we got to get that light a little bit lower because the brim of the cap, which I wear a cap every day, you don't want to see the alternative. There is hair up there still, but it's not very pretty. So you want the cap on every day. But the other thing is, so now we're on YouTube, right? Okay?
Don't you love being on camera?
Oh, why did I get out of TV? So I didn't want to be on camera anymore, and I didn't want to have to dress up. Now, I'm not going to dress up. This is it. But, so this morning, some of you may know, okay? Shay and I, because of my old morning radio schedule, when I used to get up at 3 a.m., I set an alarm during the weekdays for 5 a.m. I never get to it ever. I'm usually up by 4:15 because my body was accustomed to that for almost 20 years, getting up at near 3 a.m. So we have 4 dogs, all rescues. They're awesome dogs. But I don't sleep in the master bedroom because the dogs sleep in there. And I'm going to get up every day at 4:15. So if I get up, the dogs get up. They want to be fed. Shay gets up. So I go sleep in a separate bedroom. Once we get through with watching everything we're watching that night, good night, I go to my bedroom and the dogs and Shay go to the master cool bedroom. So this morning, I actually made it. The alarm went off at 5 a.m. That never happened, so I kind of slept in. In the process, it's the Augusta National music that is my alarm.
Of course it is.
For the Masters.
Of course it is. I've never heard anything more Steely than that.
So the Masters theme is playing at 5 a.m., so I reach over to the nightstand, and the phone falls off the nightstand. So in the pitch darkness, I reach over down like this to go grab the phone, and in the process, boom! The old man hits his head on the nightstand. And where do you always, when you hit your head?
It's always the corner.
Always on the corner.
Yep.
So I've got a gash like way up here. Yes, it did bleed for a little bit. So I thought, here I am. I'm going to have a gash on my forehead. But luckily, the bill of the cap covers it up. So that's how my day started.
Can you give us a live rendition of the Masters theme?
I think I can. Let me see if I can. How do you do that? I haven't played it back in so long.
No. I wasn't talking about playing it for us. I was. Yes, there you
Yeah, it would be copyright. Augusta would definitely. Augusta copyrights everything.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
surprised.
you don't want to wind up on the wrong end of a lawsuit from those lawyers.
I saw two guys who got too intoxicated in the grandstand and were yelling bad things about attractive women when they walked up the stairs, who got basically taken away by Augusta security. I don't know if they've ever been seen again. These guys said at Augusta, quote, "Show us your..." And I saw the Augusta security guard point to them, motion them down. They were taken away. They were hauled off in an official Augusta vehicle.
Oh, no.
And I don't know that they've been seen by anyone since. They were gone. They were like in this little paddy wagon thing, like, oh, my gosh, and they were gone. But that's one thing you don't say in the 12th grandstand at Augusta.
Or anywhere for that.
No,
matter.
you don't. That's right. But especially at Augusta, when an attractive female is walking up, holding a beer, looking for a seat, you don't say, "Show us your putter." Because, I mean, it was swift, and, I mean, they were gone within like 90 seconds. They were out of there. Okay, so that's my story. And
OU Tino on the text line says, is this a tactic by management to force old man Steely
out. It
out?
might be. I'm talking to people with the AARP right now. You know, don't let them know. But, yes, I have lawyers with the AARP. All right, want to thank Lasher Home Comfort Systems sponsoring our first segment, 405-579-3113. 405-579-3113, ladies and gentlemen, for Lasher Home Comfort Systems. Did Drake put up our poll question?
I don't know.
It is, okay, let's see. Our poll question today, how can I find this? Is it still the Brent Venables question? Why isn't, all I see is yes. That's it. Okay. Old man trying to figure out, okay. Is the best thing for OU football in 2025 for BV to be the defensive play caller? Yes or no? The best thing for Oklahoma football in 2025, is it for Brent to be the defensive play caller? Yes or no? You can vote accordingly. And again, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line is always available at 405-651-3439. I've ranted and BS so much, we've gone 2 minutes over the first segment. What an amateur. All right, we'll be right back. Keep it here on the Home of Sooner Fans. Steelman and Thune, Tuesday edition. We shall return.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money. So say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. Oklahoma is no stranger to attacks. It's now easier than ever. If you see something, say something. The free and anonymous Protect OK app allows instant reporting of suspicious activity, both in schools and the community. You can help keep your family and friends safe.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Download the Protect OK app today in the Apple App or Google Play stores. Funded by the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security.
The Mont invites you to come by and enjoy our high-quality food and drinks in our historic atmosphere. The Mont has won numerous awards, including Best Restaurant in Norman, Best Appetizer for our great queso, Best Exotic Drink for the original swirl, the Best Patio Dining for our beautifully landscaped patio. Come see the Town Tavern OU football scoreboards dating back to 1947. We'll see you at the Mont on the corner of Boyd and Classen, or call us at 329-3330.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Entrepreneurs and More Norman in South Oklahoma City have an experienced business partner in their neighborhood. More Norman Technology Center's workforce and economic development team understands the challenges entrepreneurs and small businesses face every day. From building an effective business model to hiring the right employees and managing cash flow, More Norman's business development experts can help you move forward confidently and thrive, knowing that you have a skilled partner at your side. Learn more about More Norman's Technology Center by calling 405-801-5000 or visit us online at mntc.edu.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to Plain Vanilla Bumper Radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Steely loves the YouTube era. He's thriving. He's living his best life.
I mean, I don't mind it that much, but they took away every, like I said, how many clubs is it? 14 clubs? Is that it? Been so long since I thought about that. But like I said, we're playing now, at least on radio. On the radio course, we're playing with a driver, an 8-iron, and a putter. If I had to do that, I would probably shoot 172. Because I'm not very good with a driver anymore. I was never great with a driver, but right now I'm wimpy senior driver.
And an 8-iron it's probably not the iron you want if you only have one iron.
7-iron's my best club.
That's probably what I would lean toward as well.
I don't have many good ones, but 7-iron would be mine.
7-iron gives you some nice versatility.
Mm-hmm. It does. You can chip with that too if you have to. But
I tell you, man, there was one time I was out on my home course back in Omaha, the course that I worked at for 3 years in high school. I maybe hit the longest 7-iron in the history of 7-irons. I have no idea how.
Really?
I must have struck it just right because
you're on the juice or what?
I had probably about 130-yard approach shot to the green.
Over the green?
120, 130. Steely, not just over the green. Over the boundary onto the street that runs behind the hole.
Wow.
It was a 225-yard shot, probably with a 7-iron.
Happy Gilmore with a 7-iron.
Yeah, I was playing with my dad, and I looked over toward him, and I go, "You saw that too, right?" It went, because you saw it, bounce up. It hit the pavement and took that big pavement bounce up across the street into the apartment complex on the other side.
You're waiting for those to hear the glass shatter or something. You're like, no.
I'm standing there going, I didn't just hallucinate that, right? I just hit a 7-iron completely out of play. You saw that, right?
The pavement hop can be a long, very frightening hop.
It can. I've never hit a 7-iron nearly that far again. Generally, I hit the irons, they go as far as they're supposed to go.
Well, I remember out at Cobblestone Creek, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was me. Some dude was out there having breakfast, on his, I think it was the second hole, as a matter of fact.
You were having breakfast on the
No, the dude was having breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Dad was out there in his robe and slippers because we played very early, and I hit one that rattled around his patio. Luckily, this dude was down, like he was in a bunker, and there was a World War II bomber flying over his head. Luckily, nothing shattered, though. I just went and apologized. He said, no problem. But it could have been a major problem. So, anyway, good to have you with us, Mike Steely, Parker Thune. It is the Tuesday edition. If you want to watch and follow along on YouTube, just go to YouTube, search KREF Sports. We've got a poll question up for you.
Here's an interesting poll question.
Okay.
Going back to your encounter with the individual eating breakfast on their patio. Do you want and or need an apology from someone when you're on the wrong end of something completely unintentional? Because, like, for me, say I was out on my patio eating breakfast and I live on a golf course and somebody shanks one onto said patio and comes within feet, if not inches, of hitting me. I don't really expect them to apologize. So, like, okay, you very obviously were not trying to do that.
I did out of the embarrassment, like, I'm really sorry. You know, like, usually I hit it straight every time, but not this time. You know?
But, like, that's the type of thing where, like, it's just how I'm wired, I guess. I am not the type of person that feels like I need that individual to apologize. It's just like, okay, well, that happens, I guess. Obviously, you weren't trying to do it. But my wife, for instance, if it were my wife eating breakfast on the patio, and somebody shanked a drive within inches of her head, she would be furious, and she would want an apology.
What cracks me up, though, are the people who buy homes on a golf course and are upset, like when a golf ball comes into their yard or maybe hits the side of the house. You bought a home on a golf course.
Yes, you're getting what you bargained for. Also, you better have a real reliable, real prompt window guy on hand.
Yeah.
If you live on a golf course.
The realist is that guy I see on Twitter all the time because I follow a lot of golf accounts, and you'll see every now and then they'll put a shot up of a hole somewhere and it'll say, okay, it is a 165-yard hole. You're into the wind, 5 miles an hour. What club are you playing? You know, sometimes you'll see that every now and then. And you'll see these dudes respond, smooth wedge for me. I'm like, yeah, you're hitting a wedge 160, what's going to play like 175 yards. Well, for me, it's about a half swing wedge, saw it off or something. There are always golfers out there who think they hit it a certain distance, but they don't hit it a certain distance.
A verified source on the text line says, you used a 7-iron from 130? That's my gap wedge.
That's
LOL.
what I'm talking about, the realist. Now, the realist, maybe he does. I mean, you can hit a wedge 130 yards if you're really good.
Yeah.
Even a gap wedge. But how old were you when you were hitting that 7-iron at 130?
And see, the way I've learned it over the years is I don't play for distance, right? I play for accuracy, and so I just swing real easy, and kind of the way that I've intentionally coordinated my game over the years is that I can hit a wedge I could hit a wedge probably significantly further. I don't try to. If I just swing how I've always swung, I will hit a wedge about 100 yards, a 9-iron about 110, an 8 about 120, and so on and so forth. So whatever my distance is to the green, I know exactly how much club is going to get me there.
See, for me, right now, the way I'm swinging, old man's taking it back about 75%. I can't come close to parallel. And right now, I've got a shoulder impingement, so I can't probably take it maybe halfway.
Ooh, that's not fun. I had one of those.
It's kind of a minor one, though. It's slowly going away. But so I would hit a 7-iron from 130 yards because I know, number one, I'm not going to hit it flush, and I don't hit it, 25 yards further or more than that like I used to. So, yeah, but it always cracks me up on some of these golf questions. Oh, yeah, that's a smooth 60-degree wedge for me. Yeah, right, from 170 yards. All right, dude. Why aren't you on the PGA Tour then? That's my question. I believe you, realist Homer. Or it was the realist, reformed Homer. So, anyway, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Again, if you want to follow us on YouTube. And, again, search for KREF Sports, KREF Sports, and you can find us there. Chad says, stop crying about being on YouTube. It's a huge blessing to be so successful. This is the only way that I listen, that I live in Missouri, and the KREF app takes too long. Chad, I'm going to look directly in the camera at you. How are you? How's Missouri? I hope you don't have any dealings with Eli freaking Drinkwitz because that guy sucks. Chad, we welcome you. Thank you for listening very much. If you've listened to me over the years, I'll just let you in on an inside secret. What I say, probably 75% of the time, is BS. It's a bit. I told the people, the important people today, this YouTube thing's not that bad, but I'm also going to play the old man bit up a little bit. Oh, we certainly expect that. So again, some of this is not real. I may not be real, but Chad, please keep viewing. We appreciate you very much. Some of this is an act. Just a little bit of it. Now, when I want to be a seasoned journalistic professional, unlike these fools out here who wouldn't be hired by anybody, then I can be that as well. But that's all I'm saying, Chad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, let's hear from Dusty Dvorak on the Plank Show this morning, because our poll question is it a good idea is it the best situation for BV to be making the defensive calls this year? And you can vote on our poll on YouTube. Here's what Dusty said. They were talking about kind of how offensive-minded head coaches maybe get a little bit of a break over defensive-minded coaches when it comes to calling plays. Here's what Dusty had to say about that.
Who has been one of the biggest toasts of the town that's Oklahoma's arch rival?
Sark.
Sark does it all. Has anybody ever challenged or questioned how could he possibly do all that? No, I never hear it whatsoever. The coach that was here before Brent Venables, he's really good. His record, it is what it is. He was really good at Oklahoma. Who called the plays when he was the head coach? He did. Last time I checked.
He was the man. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
And he was also the quarterback's coach as well. It wasn't just the offensive coordinator. He was position coach, coordinator, and he was a head coach. It's a legitimate question. And I'm not sure. And we definitely see more of it with offensive guys than defensive guys.
What do you think about that question? Do the offensive-minded guys maybe get a little bit more of a break on that, you think?
Perhaps, I guess, but I also just think it's probably because there are more OC/head coach guys than there are DC/head coach guys.
We're a little bit more in an offensive era, too,
we are.
Right? The
and
way
so,
we spread the field and the offenses, it's not like back in the day when, Woody Hayes in Ohio State were, running Archie Griffin off tackle, and then maybe if they had a 3rd and long, they're throwing the football. It's a different era.
How many head coaches are there in college football, would you suppose, that call their own defensive plays?
Man,
because
I don't know.
I would love to get actual numbers on that, because I would imagine the number of head coach OCs is much larger than the number of head coach DCs. Because, like you said, that's just kind of the era in which we're living. Offensive football is what is sexy. It's what sells. It's what so many programs want.
Yeah. No doubt. All right, 405-651-3439. Dusty, one more clip from Dusty from the Plank Show. He's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Dusty did say there's no doubt it's going to be a different dynamic this year for sure with Brent.
It is interesting, though, because last year he was taking a step away. This year he's jumping all the way into the deep end of the pool. And if there's a man that I believe can get it done, it's definitely him. But I'll ask around because it's a really good question that you posed, Josh, and I don't have a good answer. I don't like when I don't have a good answer for you. So I'll do my best to try to figure out why maybe there is that stigma and why there is so many more offensive play callers compared to defensive play callers that double dip calling the plays and being the head coach.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, it's an interesting question. All right, so by the way, what is going on with the 2026 quarterbacks? We know that Jaden O'Neal.
That is correct. He is committed.
Is the man. He's the leader of that class. Looks like possibly the Sooners' next great quarterback. You hope he, brings in a lot of prospects. He's already done that in this class so far. But what's going on with this Bo Bentley? They want 2 quarterbacks in the class?
They would like to have 2 quarterbacks in the class if that second quarterback is Bo Bentley specifically. If they don't get Bo Bentley, I think there's a decent chance they just stand pat. But Bo Bentley would be an awesome bonus addition at the quarterback position for OU because
Salina, Texas, right? Is
they
he like
believe
6'3"? Did I see that?
He's 6'1", 6'2".
Well, they
pretty
lied.
average size. Like, what was interesting was, and Grayson and I were having this discussion yesterday. In watching over his tape, he's got a lot of Jackson Arnold vibes. Some people are not going to like to hear that. Yes, I see your facial expression, Steely. But the high school version of Jackson Arnold
was pretty good.
He was he was the National Gatorade Player of the Year. The high school version of Jackson Arnold was a phenom. And look, Jackson Arnold still has 2 years of college ball to kind of rehabilitate his reputation and his image at Auburn. I think he'll do that. But if you watch Bo Bentley's high school tape, there's a lot of similarity to Jackson Arnold in terms of the ability to throw on the run, the clean mechanics, the mobility, the tendency to go off script and make plays when he does so. There's a ton to like about Bo Bentley, and why the reason why Oklahoma's put a red eye on him in particular is because he's a lifelong OU fan. It's a tough sell, generally, to two blue-chip quarterbacks to come sign with the same institution and compete with one another. But doesn't seem like Jaden O'Neal is all too affected by OU's pursuit of Bo Bentley. He's willing to compete with whoever Oklahoma might bring in. And from Bentley's perspective, it seems there would be a willingness, because of his love for Oklahoma, to jump on board with OU and bet on himself. Now, it's not a sure thing by any means. He's going to evaluate other options. He'll take other visits. We'll see where things land, but very decent chance that Oklahoma winds up with two quarterbacks in the class right now.
There you go. All right, interesting, too, because Jackson Arnold there at Denton Guyer, the Gatorade National High School Player of the Year, and John Mateer was like right over in that area, and he was like his district player of the year, right, or something like that. And now the tables have turned. We'll see how John Mateer performs for the Sooners coming up this fall. All right, break time right here, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. You can also hit us up and watch us on YouTube now. You can do both, man. You can multitask, right? Just get on YouTube and search KREF Radio. We'll take a timeout right here, come back, hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We have TJ Eert coming up at 1:20. Keep it right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
At Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and safe. And that means safe at home, at school, and online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
Learn more at childfund.org.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear's
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Tired of soaring insurance expenses or feeling uncertain about your coverage? At Right Way Insurance, every client receives a dedicated team of experts committed to addressing all your insurance worries. As an independent insurance company, they provide both personal and business coverage. Let them assist you in finding the optimal coverage for your specific needs. Contact Right Way Insurance at 405-607-6014 or at rightwayinsuranceok.com. That's Right Way Insurance, your trusted partner at 405-607-6014.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the OSSAA.
We are back. Mike, Steely, Parker Thune. It is Steelman and Thune at noon here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Radio Network. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without our friends at Riverwind Casino. We appreciate them so much. Nearly 3,000 electronic games, the best selection of electronic games. Also your favorite table games as well. They've got a world-class poker room. They've got a Skyloft gaming area upstairs. They have an Oasis gaming area that's smoke-free downstairs. Talking about great promotions, Riverwind has them month after month after month. The 80K Cupid's Quest is now happening. You can get out and play with your wild card today, pick up 5 extra entries, and then be there Friday night for the drawings to win your share of 80K in cash and bonus play. Shows at the Showplace Theater coming up in February. Aaron Lewis and the Stayliners on a Friday night, February 21st. Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen the next night, Saturday, February 22nd. Gladys Knights, Friday night, February 28th, taking a midnight train to Georgia. In March, 38 Special, Bonnie Raitt, Chicago. In April, America and Boys to Men. And then in May, Patti LaBelle. Great shows at a great venue, the Showplace Theater. Won't be too long before we have Beats and Bites back for 2025, the Outdoor Food and Music Festival at Riverwind. Justin, Alicia, Christy, everybody, Reed, we appreciate you guys very much. You're awesome. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards always at Riverwind. Parker, you want to hit the text line? By the way, Mark, thank you for being on with us on YouTube. We appreciate it. He did say, Mark wants to know, is O'Neal a pocket passer?
Yes. Yes, he is. Not the most mobile guy.
Okay.
Not like Davis Bevel, cinder block feet in the pocket is the way I'd always described Bevel. He can move a little bit, but not a dual threat. Jaden O'Neal is not what you would consider to be a true dual threat guy. Bo Bentley, yes, dual threat. Jaden O'Neal is more of your old school, classic, big arm, stand in the pocket, dice him up type of quarterback. That's his game.
Yeah. High Fidelity on YouTube says, did Gladys leave the Pips in Georgia? I think she's got other background singers, but you'll get some pretty good background vocals. But the Pips, man, they had the moves back in the day. Gladys Knight and the Pips. I still love that song, by the way. It's a great song. Neither one of us is a great Gladys Knight tune also. By the way, Robert says, because of NIL, young men have become soft. They say they want to compete until it's time to compete. Not all, but most of them look at how many people have left the program over the last 3 years. Is NIL making the players soft, Parker Thune?
I'm sure it's making some players soft.
I think they're softer, yes. Not all of them, but I think if you're going to say, are they still – it is a different era. There's no doubt. And some are softer.
It definitely accentuates the softness for some of these kids. No doubt about that.
That's because the wide receivers are over there squeezing Sharman on the sidelines all year. They didn't want to play. They wanted a paycheck, and that was it. That was the wide receivers got accused of being, they just don't want to play. Pretty much most of the year.
A 405 listener says, "Long-time listener, and I am not a fan of the YouTube stream for the mere fact it has eliminated the bumper music. That's always been one of my favorite parts of yours and other shows on KREF. Well, you know what you can do about that? Pick up the phone, dial the bosses, and tell them I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore."
The YouTube bosses, right? Our bosses want the same thing. You just can't monetize a channel and play copyrighted
music. Yeah, who runs
music.
YouTube? Who's the Zuckerberg of YouTube?
I don't know. Who does run YouTube? It's a good question. Somebody will let us know. I don't know. That's very good. But I would say I don't think you can make a totally blanket statement, Robert. And you didn't. You said not all, but I do agree with that. There's no, well, I'm going to wait my turn. And, they're playing, and this is a coach's cliche, but right now a lot of these guys, I would say most of the players in college athletics are playing for the name in the back of the jersey rather than the name in the front of the jersey right now. I'm not saying they're, it used to be, man, if Oklahoma's recruiting, man, Oklahoma, all right, here we go. How much are you going to pay me is what the first question is now, it seems. So it's Google owns YouTube. Yeah, who owns Google, though? That's right. That's exactly right. I should have gone ahead and Googled it up. I don't know who runs Google, though. The Google people do. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
Postal Sooner says, "Tell the last texter to go live in an elevator. We talk sports here."
What? Did we take another question about something else? Oh, the Gladys Knight one? Was that it?
No, it was about the texter that said he liked the bumper music.
Oh,
and that had gone away
okay.
Because of...
old man brain, sometimes it's like dial-up internet. Takes a while to connect with something every now and then. I tell you what, one of the sweetest sounds of like the 90s was, though, when you made that connection on dial-up. And when you finally got connected after 6 minutes, you're like, yes, finally. Parker wouldn't know that, wouldn't it? Blake, did you make the dial-up connection? Was it not awesome? It was. It was a fantastic feeling. I don't know if there's a feeling like that with high-speed internet anymore. Of course, there's not the frustration that went along with, why is this taking so long? But when you get the beep, boop, it was fantastic.
Yep, I'm too young for that.
And it sounded exactly like that, pretty much.
I was a child of the 90s, but only barely.
Well, you're from the generation that you haven't been dumbed down like the 20-somethings these days. They've been dumbed down to chimpanzee level, pretty much. You know the evolutionary scale they show the picture? They're going backwards because their attention spans are 20 seconds. They've got a lot of parents who let them stare at the phone all day, right? They think they have to get on there and cook somebody on Twitter/X. They are the reason that the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are saddling up right now. That generation.
Who are the 4 horsemen of this particular apocalypse?
Facebook. Well, Facebook's mainly olds now.
Yeah. No, you're dealing with Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
It probably started with Snapchat. Whatever really took the attention span away. But those are the 4 horsemen of the social media apocalypse. The reason why, can you imagine what this place is going to look like in like 50 years? I mean, there'll just be knuckle-dragging buffoons walking around this place. It's going to be just drooling. What happened, sir? Well, they never got off their phones. Their attention spans got down to 5 seconds, and then they just became complete mongoloids. Are they all like this, sir? Most of them, yes. Most of them are. Knuckle-dragging, just absolute idiots.
It's always a good day when Steely uses the word mongoloid.
Is it mongoloid or is it mongoloid? Mongoloid. Okay, we're going with mongoloid? Okay, all right. But you know what's going to happen that way. That's why I am so, before the whole, you know what, house goes up in flames, I'm going to be out of here. Up there in the good place. I don't think they allow you to laugh at other people living down here, though, in heaven.
Yeah, probably not. That would be frowned upon.
I wouldn't think that would be the kind of behavior they would approve. You want to have some sympathy for your fellow men or your fellow knuckle-dragging mongoloids who are left.
Yeah, cackling from up there, that could earn you a demotion to the farm team.
Did you just laugh at the knuckle-dragging mongoloids? Back to purgatory. We tried to stop them with this technology out of control and the attention-seeking clowns down there that needed to tweet every 2 seconds, but we just couldn't stop it.
Oh, Pastor MC with a great parallel. He says, if you boys have ever seen the Disney movie WALL-E, that's where we were headed, or are headed. Boy, when did that movie come out? 2008, I want to say?
Yeah,
2008, 2009?
Yeah.
That's a good movie. And it's aged quite gracefully, I might add.
I'm going to be like Charlton Heston at the end of the Planet of the Apes. You idiots! You blew it up! Damn you! Okay, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. 405-651-3439. All right, Sooners and Auburn, 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. Auburn is, I think the last I saw was a 17-point favorite. Is that right? That was the last margin I saw. What are you laughing at? By the way,
I'm still laughing at your use of the word mongoloids.
You know what I still get a half chuckle out of is Jesse's picture yesterday. But he laughed along with it, which was good. Jesse Crittenden, and some of the comments were great.
I wonder what Drum's photo is going to be on Friday. I wonder what TJ's photo is going to be later today.
They're working on it. I told him TJ was coming on. Drum will have his own photo, too. He'll be the backwards hat guy. Why does he do the backwards hat? Because of the lighting?
I don't know.
Because the brim of the cap can shade your face a little bit. Now, you don't want to see me well illuminated because it's like staring into an eclipse. You don't want that. But Brandon, I'm guessing that's part of it. JP405 says, real life has become the plot of the movie Idiocracy. Yes. Have you ever seen Idiocracy?
Who was I talking with? Who was explaining the plot of Idiocracy to me the other day? This would have had to have been over the weekend.
It would have had to have been somebody older than you, I would think. What year did Idiocracy come out?
I was talking with someone about the movie Idiocracy, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who it was. I have not seen the movie Idiocracy, no. Can you re-explain it to me?
Everybody becomes an idiot because of modern society, and the morons are what the planet, inhabiting the planet.
It was my uncle I was talking with Idiocracy. I was talking with about regarding Idiocracy. Not that uncle, one of the other ones. Yep. But yes, that's who I was with over the weekend, and he was explaining the plot of Idiocracy to me.
By the way, Blake, is that Alan with a super chat? What does he say?
He says, Steely, warm up teat? I have no idea what that's supposed to say.
Was that supposed to be a warm-up tweet or something? That sounds kind of tawdry, Alan. You, sir, may be tawdry. Steely, warm up the teat. Is that what they say in the barn right when they milk the cows? I don't know. All right.
Do you have to warm up the
Thank
cheese
you, Alan.
beforehand?
Thank you, Alan. Thank you. All right. 405-651. Dave from Norman says, idiocracy is essentially the de-evolution of society. Yes, we're in that period right now. It's known as an extinction period of common decency, common sense, and intelligence. The beginning stages. The good news, kids, is it's only going to get worse, and you're causing it. Thank you to our friends at Lasher Home Comfort Systems, 405-579-3113. Appreciate Tim Lasher and his great company. We have another hour to go. The one, the only TJ Eert, KTUL TV in Tulsa, coming up next hour. Keep it here on the Ref.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network.
Don't miss out on OKC's hottest entertainment at the Showplace Theater with acts like Gladys Knight, February 28th. 38 Special, March 7th. Bonnie Raitt, March 15th. And Chicago, March 28th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
It's winter in Oklahoma, and whether it's 60 degrees or below freezing outside, Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber are committed to keeping the electricity and internet flowing. We encourage you to visit oecfiber.com/winter for everything from tips on safeguarding your home against the freeze to preparing for a possible power outage. We understand the importance of keeping you informed and empowered during the coldest months. Stay prepared, stay warm, and stay connected from OEC and OEC Fiber.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68 team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68 team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more from noon to 7. The Ref's 68 team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Are you ready to make this a Valentine's Day to remember? Our favorite Antwerp diamond suppliers in the store, February 7th through the 9th. Choose from perfectly matched sets for earrings, gorgeous diamonds for a proposal, and an amazing selection for pendants. Our prices and selection simply cannot be beat. Purchase yours during our Antwerp Diamond event, and you could be our next Antwerp Diamond winner. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping, and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999. Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
They say if you don't like the weather in Oklahoma, wait 5 minutes and check it again. Nope, not there yet. Ah, that's more like it. Being comfortable is important, and if it's -5 degrees or 100 degrees, Norman Air has you covered. Our impeccable quality and unbeatable service is what sets us apart from our competitors. It's just part of our mission to keep Oklahoma comfortable. Visit normanair.com for all your heating, air, plumbing, and electrical needs. Norman Air, service to the max.
Is your team coming to Norman or Noble for an event? Let Chick-fil-A 12th Avenue be your winning meal provider. From box meals and nugget trays to lemonade and tea, 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A can provide your team's pre- or post-game meal. Delivery, pickup, or dine in, 12th Avenue will have you covered. Call us at 405-310-3189 or use the CFA One app and let Chick-fil-A feed your team. Don't forget to ask about the Give Back program for a winning season. Call 405-310-3189 and remember to eat more chicken.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app. The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Oh, man, I miss Tom Petty.
I do, too. Hour number 2, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Welcome in. Steelman and Thune here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Radio Network. Appreciate you being with us. 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Hour number 2, a presentation of High Tower Clinical. We appreciate High Tower Clinical. What's High Tower Clinical all about? They have clinical trials in the state of Oklahoma, in the metro area of Oklahoma City. No cost or insurance needed to take part in these trials, so that's a heck of a deal. Meds provided for free. Patients are also compensated for their time in these trials. They are located in various metro area locations. Check them out online at hightowerclinical.com. That's hightowerclinical.com. Or you can call or text for more information at this number, 405-831-5905. That is 405-831-5905. All right, JP405 on YouTube had a question. And that question was, has Parker ever used a cell phone? No, I say yes, I think he has, but I'm not real sure. Blake, our man running the show in here for us, says no. Have you ever used a payphone?
A payphone?
Yes.
So you said a cell phone. I was like,
no,
I'm
my
using
bad.
a cell phone as we speak.
Old man issues. Have you ever used a payphone?
I have never used a payphone. No.
Blake for the win.
I can't even remember the last time I saw a payphone, like an active working payphone.
I'm trying to think where there might be one now. I can't think of where one was.
I remember there was one at my library growing up. But I haven't been to that library since 2012 maybe. It's probably not around anymore.
There you go.
Because how do you make money off a payphone? Who is paying to make a call?
That's true.
And also these days, here's another phenomenon of society that has only become commonplace in the last decade or so, is that people are terrified whenever they get a call they don't recognize or someone knocks on their door / rings their doorbell.
Oh, yeah. Shay my wife is super sweet, but she's basically put a sign out in front. Hey, welcome to the Steelies. By the way, don't knock on our door or I'll kill you. Pretty much is what it says.
That's basically how my wife is, too. She just won't open the door for people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's okay. Like this, we live in a neighborhood. We have neighbors. People come to doors, whether they're salesmen or delivery people or just somebody who wants to borrow a couple of eggs, which these days we probably...
or something, though, right? You get Ring or something, and you can pre-screen them somewhat. But most of the screening I do, no, I don't think so. But you're right. You know the worst, I will tell you, not our hometown roofers, but the out-of-town roofers after like a storm, they converge like flies on a by-God rib roast on everybody. And literally, I remember Shay in the old place put up a sign that said, "We have our own roofer. Thank you very much. Please don't ring the doorbell. You know, I work at home. We have a roofing contractor we work with. Do not ring the doorbell." Ding dong. During that time, every day, probably 3 or 4 times. And you would walk out and say, like, "Dude, can you not read what's on the door?" "Well, we thought we could order you, make you a better offer on that." Mm-hmm. No, it said, "Don't ring the doorbell." Get it? You know, I was never, but it's like, you seriously saw that sign and still rang the doorbell.
And in the age of caller ID, if you were to get a call from someone using a payphone, A, what would that show up as? And B, what are the odds you would answer it? Because, like, I answer every call I can answer. I obviously can't answer the phone when I'm, like, on radio or otherwise preoccupied. But if I'm not preoccupied, I will answer the phone no matter what. Because in this line of work, you never know who could be calling. I remember, 3 or 4 years ago, I got a random call from a number I didn't recognize, and I picked it up and said, "Hey, this is Parker." And the caller said, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And I said, not a whole lot. Who is this?" It was Nicholas Harbor calling me back when he was going through the recruiting process and highly interested in Oklahoma. So,
don't you hate that when you see somebody or they call, "Hey, man, what's up? How you doing?" Every talk to you, "Well, hi. How are you?" "Good, man. What's been going on?" "Not much." You? What's going on with you?" And you're trying to think, who is this? And it's really bad in radio, particularly when you get older, because somebody may have seen you at a remote. "Hey, man, what's up? How you doing? Remember me, right?" Yes, I do. "How are you?" And it's very rare, but T-Row talks about it because he runs into a lot more people than I do because I don't like being around people right now. But, and you have to think because they know your name and you're fishing. "Oh, my gosh, who is this dude? I can't remember." But that happens a lot. But, yeah. I'm surprised you still picked up the phone. You had intentions, though. Something was telling you this is a recruit. I better pick it up.
No, not necessarily. I mean, again, I'll pick up the phone no matter who's calling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? What is the danger in me answering this call?
Because it might be Putin and the Ruskies getting your information while you're talking to
Listen,
them. That's why.
I'm sure they already have all my information.
Well, yes.
The quicker we all accept that as a society,
yeah.
The U.S. government and foreign governments already probably have all your information. Like, for instance, my dad will go to the most insane lengths to make sure he never says his Social Security number out loud or writes it anywhere. And I'm like, are we for real here? Let's be honest. We live in the age of endless information. All of your information is known by someone. The sooner we all just accept this and get on with life, the happier we will be.
First time they got our socials, in my opinion, is when they floated that by God Chinese balloon way up in there, and it just started vacuuming up information left and right, and we let it happen. So, yeah, I think you're probably right. I think you were probably right. All right, 405-651-3439. Let's hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We definitely don't want to ignore the great people on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
KW918 says, I switched my phone settings to reflect any payphone calls to show as Quisp Serial University.
I like that. 4-star KW. Man, I'd like a box of Quisp right now. Sugary heaven is where I would reside.
Dave from Norman says, I always answer the door fully strapped. You're doing the most.
You, sir, are also tawdry.
S. Rob Booman says, getting an unknown caller ID phone call is almost as bad as getting a collect call from your local jail or prison. Have you ever gotten a collect call?
From prison?
Yes.
Yes. There was a guy that...
Have you ever made a collect call?
No. Oh, collect call?
Mm-hmm.
Like not a prison call, but a collect call, yes. Long time ago in a galaxy, a long way away. But there was a dude in radio we used to work with, and he got in big trouble for, something very strange. And he would call all of us at the radio station, and we're like, this dude might be on Dateline soon. I don't think I want to take his call. So you have to tell him I will not.
Mark from Enid says, if you answer random calls, you a lot of times get added to a robocalls list because you'll answer the phones.
Yeah.
Really? People still do robocalls?
Blake is nodding yes, and Blake is, I trust his information. I trust his information.
People need to come up with better scams.
Shay changed her number because she started getting a lot of those calls. She finally thought, I don't know, she even had one of those apps that was supposed to block, and it worked for a long time, and then it stopped working. And she actually went and changed her number like a month ago.
Braylon from the 580 would like to know, Steely, where did you get the green Big 8 conference hat?
Okay, it's hard to find, but you guys, if you're on Twitter and you're a sports fan, you probably follow Super 70 Sports, which it's one of my, maybe if I had to pick one account I couldn't do without. That would be it. I just love it because it speaks my language. Grew up in the same area. We didn't toss around MFers that much like Ricky does, the guy who runs the site. But I think it's great. And he's got the Super 70 Sports Store. So go to Super 70 Sports Store. Just type in Big 8 Conference or Big 8. Now, most of the time you're only going to see a T-shirt because the hat is sold out quite a bit. I don't know if they have any more, but occasionally if you go to Super 70 Sports Store, in search, type in Big 8, every now and then it'll show up, and they get snapped up quickly. I was wearing it yesterday. So, yeah, the minute I saw it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm getting this.
Dave from Norman says, aren't those little red huts all over campus payphones, or at least they used to be? I know they're British style. Yeah, I don't think there are still payphones in those. I think they're just there for kind of the retro aesthetic appeal.
Keep expecting Doctor Who to pop into one of those.
Never seen Doctor Who. I can't.
Sir, there are many versions of Doctor Who through the years. But that was a blank stare I got. Doctor Who, and Blake was laughing. He had a little grin, yes. Parker looked at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bubblegum ice cream guy from Grove says, my wife called me last week scared because 2 guys rang the doorbell.
Yeah. You know what? In this day and age, you can't be too careful. You've got to be careful. You never know. I'm not letting anybody in.
I disagree, actually. I think it's quite the opposite. We are safer than at any point in the history of society and humankind.
Why is
yes,
that?
because there are cameras everywhere, Steely.
Well, I'll tell you this. We have a ring out front. I keep the porch light on and the light in the front yard. And we have one of those motion sensing lights right in front of the garage. And I leave that on every night because I'm thinking if there's some damn fool out here on meth or something that's thinking about I got to break into a house to get some more meth, I'm trying to make sure that, you know what, dude, not only are you going to be on the Ring camera, now if you're that methed out, it probably doesn't matter, but I want to make sure that's a deterrent because she was like, first, we need to keep. I'm like, you know what? If it costs $7 a month extra on the electric bill or $15, that's worth the deterrent. That's kind of the way I look at it. And I'm brilliant, so it's right. Hopefully.
Puerto Rican Sooner says, unless they're Girl Scouts selling cookies or kids selling blue and gold sausage, everyone else is getting greeted by a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, man. See,
well, look, I don't blame some people in this day and age. You know, you have that right. I'm not a huge gun guy because I'm too accident prone, but you never know, man. You know, the incident where all of a sudden you think something's cool and it becomes not cool and you don't have a firearm is the day you're thinking, why didn't I have a firearm?
Speaking of Girl Scouts selling cookies, someone brought a couple of boxes of Girl Scout cookies to the studio today.
Really?
And I've had altogether too many of them.
Thin Mints? What did you get?
Dude, Thin Mints are the bomb. Well, here's the thing. Like, they are my 2 favorite Girl Scout cookies, which are Thin Mints and Samoas.
I think that's pretty much everybody, isn't it?
Really?
Is
that the case?
Yeah, I think those are the 2 most popular.
I don't know. Grayson Singleton didn't realize that Samoas had coconut in them, and apparently he hates coconut, so I watched him take a bite of a Samoa and immediately spit it back out.
Who knew it? Grayson Singleton, coconut hater. Not me, but we know now. All right, Big Rich is typing in all caps again, so we better answer him.
Oh, no. What did he say? Is this move to YouTube in order to pay the NIL for you guys?
Maybe, Big Rich, maybe. If you see me holding out, I'll just be like an OU wide receiver. I'll be standing over here just next to the wall.
Yeah, no, trust me. If that was the reason for the move, Big Rich, I would not have held out because I miss Tom Petty too much.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Jolly Fat Boy. We got it in Amarillo.
My first phone experience was at the grandparents' house, pre-rotary phone, where you rang the operator and they connected you to who you wanted to talk to. Small town Texas. Oh, gosh, how do you pronounce this, Steely? You lived in Texas.
That's Mahia, I believe.
Mahia? Is that how you say it?
It's Mahia, Texas.
Because I know, like, when I was in college, my two roommates, who were both from Texas, two of my best friends in the world to this day, ran me through like an online quiz where I tried to pronounce the names of towns in Texas that just have bizarre pronunciations. Like you would look at them and never think, oh, that's pronounced the way it is. That town was on the list, and I don't remember how you say it,
like
but I'm not going to
Refugio.
look like an idiot. Yeah, like Refugio.
Which is spelled Refugio, I believe,
Yes,
right?
Bernie.
How's Bernie spelled?
Boerne. Green.
Let us, Perfect Steely says, Jolly Fat Boy. Yeah, Mahia, Texas. You know, so basically you had to climb the telephone pole and get connected like they did in Green Acres back in the day. But I had the rotary phone for a while. And you talk about a pain, and it took forever. But yeah, I started with the rotary phone that you had to actually dial. Then we moved up to the push buttons. Times were tough back then, very difficult. Okay, let's get to a break. We've got TJ Eert coming up, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, that's 405-651-3439. Check us out on YouTube if you want. Go to YouTube, search KREF Sports. We are coming right back.
This is Sooner linebacker Kobe McKenzie, and you're listening to The Ref, home of the Sooner fans.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Oklahoma GMC dealers. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
The 6-time national champion OU women's gymnastics team continue their 2025 season with an exciting SEC matchup against the Kentucky Wildcats. Friday, February 7th at 7:15 p.m. Enjoy the best gymnastics in the country while winning incredible prizes throughout the night as we transform the LNC into your favorite game shows. Visit Soonersports.com/tickets to secure your seats now, and we'll see you for Friday Night Heights on February 7th. Boomer Sooner.
Hey, it's Mike Steely here for Cavens Group. Has it ever happened to you? You get home from the weekend, you arrive back at work on Monday, and your office is full of water. Not good. Now we're in that time of the year where pipes or sprinkler lines will freeze, and this can lead to a ton of damage to your home or business. Plus, if it's not cleaned up properly, that can lead to even more costly repairs in the future. Call Cavens Group today at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com.
So what do you do if you're 30,000 feet in the air, the weather is bad, disco is fading fast, and somebody just killed one of the flight crew? Better extinguish your cigarettes and assume laugh positions as the Sooner Theater invites you to join the Mile Die Club this Valentine's Day weekend, February 12th through the 15th. The murderously funny and not quite right dinner and show is an adults-only evening benefiting the programs and productions at the Sooner Theater. Tickets are on sale now at SoonerTheater.org.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mike Steely here for Lasher Home Comfort Systems, your trusted home comfort experts in the Oklahoma City metro area. Tim Lasher and his team have more than 130 years of combined experience. They recognize a significant number of homeowners live with inadequate home comfort systems. They specialize in diagnosing your home system issues while providing more efficiency and reducing your utility costs. As an authorized dealer of American Standard, Tim can service your residence or business. Call Tim and his team at 405-579-3113. Lasher Home Comfort Systems.
What are you doing out there?
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Oklahoma.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
That sounds like what's going through the head of teenagers every day. That's pretty much all they hear, I think.
Royalty-free bangers bumping us in and out of every YouTube segment.
Welcome back to Plain Vanilla Radio. I'm the man of steel along with Parker Thune, and helping us along is Blake today.
Does this make you one of America's favorite regional YouTube stars now?
I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps.
Do you think there are more YouTube stars these days than radio stars? Probably diminishes your significance if you're just a regional YouTube star.
Yeah.
Because every Yahoo has a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. I'm going to get my own YouTube channel, Dad. I'm going to make money. I'm going to be a star. Son, you've never done anything in media before. Doesn't matter, Dad. Have you seen these idiots out there already? They're fools. Okay, TJ Eert is nobody's fool, ladies and gentlemen. He joins us on the Riverwind Casino hotline. TJ, what's happening? How you doing?
You know, I was just thinking that. That's a great question that Parker asked. I think kids these days would rather be on YouTube watching people play video games than play the video games themselves.
Well, you ought to see the senior 49 champion of the world in action. It is amazing. The greatest geriatric out there in the 49ing world.
He's talking about himself, to be clear.
And recognized as such, too, by the way. So, first of all, I don't want to start off as Debbie Downer, but is this going to be the worst season ever when we think about OU, OSU, Tulsa football? You know, OU, OSU, Tulsa, ORU basketball. I mean, are we living it right now?
Oh, so you're lumping in football and basketball season as well.
Yes.
I mean, I think so.
It's got to be in the running, I would think.
It's ORU starting off just on our local level. ORU basketball has fallen off a cliff this year. They're horrible. TU is very below average. Obviously, OSU has been probably below standard, I would say, in year one with Lutz. And then, OU is really the only one, barring a miracle, run by somebody that has a shot at making a tournament. So that would be one team out of the last 8, technically, counting last year and this year, that have made the tournament out of our 4 big schools. If OU goes on to make it, that doesn't happen very often around here. So, when you lump in the bad football season, it's been rough. It's been rough. Thankfully, we have the Thunder to save us at least.
True that, yes.
Do you think Oklahoma basketball will make the tournament, TJ? I mean, looking at that schedule the rest of the way, it's kind of a murderer's row. The Sooners only have one unranked opponent for the remainder of the season moving forward. So does this team have enough juice, given the superstar potential that exists with Jeremiah Fears, some strong play lately from Jalen Moore, the spark plug that Dayton Forsyth has been? Even with all of their weaknesses, you think there's enough there for this team to push for a tournament berth here over the next month and a half?
I think so, Parker. It feels like the good thing is there's been all the huff and puff about bad non-con in the past, and the opponents that you played in the non-conference didn't really pan out as the season went along, and that hurt OU's resume in these past couple of years where they're that first team out. I mean, this year they've got a few really nice non-conference wins that have kind of held up as conference plays roll along, with Arizona and Michigan both still playing pretty well. They're both ranked. So that helps. You're at 16 now. If you can find 4 down the stretch to get to 20, I feel like that gives you a pretty good in. I know you don't want to rely on that alone based on what's happened in the past, but the bad news is that your schedule's tough to finish. The good news is that there's opportunities to win games there that can really bolster your resume. And I don't know what Vandy's going to look like the rest of the season, but like winning that against a ranked opponent on your home floor in convincing fashion, like that does something for your resume as well. So is it going to be hard? Absolutely. Are there wins there that you feel like you can get and should get? Yes. And then you may have to steal one or maybe win a couple in the SEC tournament. But it feels like they've done enough to this point to feel good about it. If they crash and burn towards the end of the year, then yeah, they're not going to make it. But at this point, they've done enough.
Former Bixby Spartan TJ Eert is our guest, local legend at the University of Central Oklahoma. Were you ever intercepted and or sacked by Nate Dreiling?
Not intercepted. Sacked feels like that's a given. I feel like that was something that absolutely happened. Hit hard, that's a yes. He's a good player, man. And I haven't seen him. Don't know what his physical stature looks like right now, but I would be shocked to be if he wasn't still able to go out there and run a few reps. The guy was really good. I think I said in the tweet, it was very much one of the best, if not the best, linebackers we faced during my time there at UCO. He was a stud.
TJ Eert, ladies and gentlemen, KTUL-TV in Tulsa, joining us on the Riverwind Casino Hotline. So what do you make about the whole Jim Knowles thing? I know Sooner fans got their hopes up, and now it's like, here we go, Arkansas State, Utah State, and a guy who got fired at Clemson. You know how they are. And like I said, I think part of that is you're thinking you might have the date with Sidney Sweeney, and then you get, the opposite of Sidney Sweeney. Maybe. I don't know. But what do you think about, Brent calling the defense and just the Sooners situation on that side of the football heading into the fall?
For where he's at in terms of the leash that he has left with his tenure there at OU, in what feels like a make-or-break season, I think, at least for me, and I think he would be the same way, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out doing it my way. This is what I'm known for. This is what I'm best at. If I have an opportunity, or not an opportunity, but if there's a potential of me getting fired, I would rather go out swinging with my defense and me being in charge than anybody else. And so I like that mentality, and I think he's fully capable of doing it. I think really what's kind of threw a loop in the whole hiring thing and where OU fans get sour is that you in theory could have had Jim Knowles. And so any hire that happened after that, the best defensive coordinator in the country at this moment, any hire after that's going to look bad or not be up to snuff, right? So that's kind of where I fell. You kind of know my opinion on Dreiling. I think he's great, and I think he's going to be a really good linebacker coach, and he's going to be really good in the role he's in. But when you just look at it at face value, I can see why OU fans would get upset. So long-winded answer of saying I like what Venables is doing. I would rather him call the defense and go out that way than try to trust somebody else in doing it and trying to install a totally different scheme in a make-or-break season.
What do you think of the addition of Wes Goodwin, former Clemson DC, joining Oklahoma now in what would have in the past been considered an off-field role, but obviously now with the NCAA allowing unlimited coaches, analysts, support staffers, GAs, and the like to coach on the practice field, you essentially get what feels like a bonus coach on that defensive staff in Wes Goodwin.
Yeah, exactly, and it helps. He's going to call the defense. Talking about Venables, he's calling it. It's his defense, whatever. But it's still good to have another set of eyes who have worked with Venables in the past and been successful in doing so, and then B, another guy who has called defense before and knows that and knows the pressures and knows the ins and outs of doing that, along with Nate Dreiling. Having those, just another set of eyeballs to help you in that, you call it transition. For Venables, I think it's great. And, the two have worked together in the past, had really good success. That's been well documented. You almost liken it, not necessarily the exact same type of thing that happened at Alabama when Nick Saban would bring in the graveyard of fired coaches, right? That head coaches that would come in and kind of like rehab their career at Alabama. It's not exactly like that. I'm not saying it is, but it helps to have multiple sets of eyes on a defense that they know and that he trusts, to where, yes, he's calling it all, but he can at least focus his attention elsewhere too if needed because he has guys he trusts around him.
TJ, all right, what are you thinking about the Luka trade? And now with Luka and out in L.A. with the Lakers, with Anthony Davis, coming to Dallas. We got the trade deadline coming up Thursday. Deadline's Thursday afternoon. How do you think this all affects Oklahoma City?
Well, first, I have a handful of Mavericks fans, and I texted them pretty soon after it happened, and they're all pissed off. I mean, nobody's happy about it in Dallas. Nobody's happy, and which is good, given the budding rivalry that's there with Oklahoma City. The best part about it all was finding out that they have an unprotected first-round pick from Dallas, and whatever that is, 2028, isn't that right? That's terrific for OKC. It always seems like Sam Presti's a step ahead, so. I don't know. It's hard to say because Dallas was already a pretty tough matchup with Luka there, and then without him when he hasn't played, it's been tough. And then adding another big in Davis, it's not necessarily a cakewalk for the Thunder. But moving one big superstar away from what's been your biggest rival at this point surely doesn't hurt Oklahoma City's chances, I wouldn't think.
Let's jump back to OU hoops here, TJ, because I want to bring it back to Dayton Forsythe, who has been spectacular at times and in spurts for Oklahoma over the last couple of weeks in particular. You're not getting Jeremiah Fears back next season. He's projected as a top 10 NBA draft pick right now, if not top 5. That's a one-and-done dude. Jalen Moore's going to be off to the NBA as well, and it feels like another big reset is coming for Porter Moser, but has Dayton Forsythe's emergence at least given you something that you can hold on to and feel good about going into next season? Yeah, absolutely. Guy's just been the spark plug for this team, and a team that's needed it at certain points during this conference play. He's come out and in the biggest games they've really had so far, he's come in and in limited minutes really kind of sparked this team. So I lobbied for him to at least start recently, just because you want to see that guy has been just the energy guy you've needed, and reward him for that. And so I understand you keep bringing him off the bench and you being that kind of that energizer bunny coming off the bench that you need. But yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see what he looks like in an expanded role, to your point, when it's not just the guy to come off the bench, play 16, 17 minutes, foul some dudes, play hard, get on the floor. Then you transition him to be a starting, your point guard, your guard. And kind of running the offense through him. He runs the offense. I'd be curious to see what he looks like in that type of role. But you got to be very, very pleased if you're Porter Moser and if you're an OU fan with what you've seen from him, because you didn't really know what you were going to get from a guy that comes from a small town in Oklahoma, maybe a little undersized. And he's absolutely exceeded, I think, everybody's expectations to this point.
All right, are you watching the golf league, and you think we'll ever get golf back in good shape again? They're like a couple weeks ago, TJ. Now I watched some of AT&T, and Rory was great over the weekend, and that was fun. But like the Farmers Insurance, I'm like, yeah, the Farmers is wow. And I'm like, look at the leaderboard. I don't think so. Which never would have happened ever, 3 or 4 years ago. But I just looked at it and thought, I don't think so. So what do you think, again, of the golf league? And can we get golf? Can we make golf great again?
Oh, good.
Can we?
It's a little diluted, however you want to say right now, with just so many different leagues and things that are happening that your attention is being just drawn so many different directions. I think what it will take is getting to the Players' Championship, or another one of those elevated events, the Arnold Palmer that people like watching. The Masters is obviously going to draw the eyeballs. Getting there, because right now we're just in a bit of a lull. Tournaments are starting to get better. Pebble was decent, but Waste Management's this week. People get fired up for that. Get to that point, and there's a thought that golf fans want all the content they can get. Really, honestly, we just want to see a bunch of golf shots on TV. Like, that's all we care about. We don't need to see the simulator stuff. Is it good? Little filler, sure, but what we need to get to what your question is we need to get to a big tournament where everybody's playing together, like the Players and then the majors, and that's when people will really start kind of getting refocused on the main brand of golf, which is the best players in the world playing together at a big event, and so that's what we need to get to, because right now there's just way too much going on.
TJ, finally and most importantly, what will your Super Bowl spread look like this weekend? Are you a wings guy? You a sliders guy? You an uber healthy veggie tray guy? Which way you going this weekend?
If I walk into a Super Bowl party and all they have is a veggie tray, we turn around and walk back out the door.
That's what's up.
Yeah, give me. I don't know if we're going to go to where we're going, but in the past when we've gone to like my parents' house, my dad likes to smoke like a brisket, or he smokes meatloaf, which is freaking good. So a smoked meat guy, give me some dips, and then I think I can live right there. That's fine with me. Just again, don't just be a straight veggie tray guy, because I'll judge you for the rest of the time. As you should.
Yeah, only the liberals are serving veggie trays. I'll just tell you. All right. Sorry, political commentary. That's not real. TJ, we always appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you very much. Talk to you again soon.
You bet, guys. Good talking with you.
All right, buddy. Take care. TJ Eert. You know what? I think we need to take this camera, Drake Dykin, right here and maybe bring it down just a little bit, because I look like the freaking hunchback of Notre Dame in here. I'm like, coming up, TJ Eert. I mean, Parker looks all young and well-lit and healthy and stuff, and I'm, it's really bad. I think what they're doing is trying to not frame the old man well in the camera so they can frame the old man to fire the old man. Well, he couldn't set his camera shut. He looked like a hunchback. It's like, we may have to work on that, Drake. You know what? You want me to set the shots for you?
Steely, if they wanted to fire you, they would have just done it after you quoted Nick Saban.
Well, that's right. They went through us like through a tin horn. One of the great moments in ref history right there. Okay, let's come back. Let's get to the text line, 405-651-3439. And we'll hit up also the chat. Mark, Michael, Les, Sooner Cowboys, Robert. We'll hit you guys also on the YouTube chat. Thank you guys very much. We shall return right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The home of Sooner fans. Home for Sooner recruiting coverage. Home of your Sooner game day voices. Home of the best pre- and post-game coverage. Join the movement. Download the free KRF app now to listen anywhere, anytime. We are where die-hard Sooner fans listen.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
The all-new Eskridge Honda is here, right in time for the new year. Our new building is awesome, just like these deals. Shop today and receive 0% for 72 months on select SUVs in stock. Come in today to get the best deals all month long. Now conveniently located off I-35 and 89th. Just look for the blue tints on the roof. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
0% for 72 months on in-stock new 2024 Honda Prologue EX two-wheel drive inventory through AHF. Ends 1/31/25.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Many of our U.S. veterans and service members face challenges, mental health struggles, housing obstacles, food insecurity, and social isolation, to name just a few. I'm Bob Woodruff. My family and I started the Bob Woodruff Foundation in 2006 after I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq. Our service members had my back that day, and we need to have theirs now more than ever. At our foundation, we invest in solutions, so learn more about our work at bobwoodrufffoundation.org/success.
Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm with the nonprofit Fostering Futures. Every day, children are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. In these critical moments, we step in to support these vulnerable kids. We work alongside child welfare workers to meet the essential needs of safety, stability, and healthy connections, as well as providing enrichment opportunities. But we can't do this important work without your support. Consider donating at fosteringfuturesok.org. Together, we can offer children a brighter future.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999 means Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
They are back. It is Super Bowl week. You know, I was just thinking about that. Super Bowl characters. You know, we haven't talked about it a lot, but used to talk about the Super Bowl characters that come to your parties. Because the Super Bowl is an event where you mix hardcore football fans with hardcore partiers and non-football fans. And it's an interesting party mix. Now, we don't do it anymore because Shay can't host like she's just, that's kind of the mode she's in because it's harder for her to host. She loved to do that, but it's just really hard now. But anyway, you used to get every now and then you'd get, hey, man, I'm going to bring my cousin over with me. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sure, go bring your cousin. And one of them we got was a poop announcer one time, which is not good.
A poop announcer?
He's the guy who announces that he's headed to the bathroom. Y'all don't come around here for about 15 minutes, before he shuts the door. You've never been with that guy at a party before?
No, I never have.
Blake has. Blake has.
Is Blake that guy?
No, he's never.
Does he know because he is that guy?
You probably, if you've gone to a Super Bowl party for as long as I have, you've run into a poop announcer. It's like, dude, don't announce that you're good. Just go do your business and, jeez. And by the way, go to the bathroom that is way away, not the one closest proximity to the viewing area, you filthy pig, all right? You go as far as you can go. You walk all the way down that hall. You turn right, and then you turn left and right again. And there's one secret area. You go there. Not in close proximity to the big screen where we can hear the, and everything, Who does that? A knuckle-dragging, mongoloidal Neanderthal. Hey, y'all watch out. What's going on here ain't going to be good, all right? Stay away from this area for about 15, 20 minutes.
This is why you got to keep Super Bowl parties small, Steely. Mm-hmm. No more than 15 people.
Yeah.
Even that feels like a lot. No more than 15 people at a Super Bowl party.
Chris and Lindsay, 405-651-3439. I remember you talking about the guy that would bring over warm beer and then ask if he could have a few of your beers while he was cooled down in the fridge. But he ended up drinking yours. Yeah, the beer trader, the beers, what did we call him? He's the guy, hey, man, I got a 4-pack of hams here. That's all, I went by the store and they were closed, so this is all I could bring. Mind if I have a couple of your beers? And then he ends up drinking like a 12-pack by himself, But so anyway, they're always people you have to look out for. The people who talk during crucial moments in the game. Now, ladies, that's usually you. I'm sorry. I am not misogynistic, but that is 3rd and 1. This will be the play who decides the game. Have you talked to Billy lately? What's his son doing these days? Myrtle, could you please shut the hell up? Because this is a crucial stage of the game. You could have asked that a long time ago. So those are the encounters you have during the Super Bowl party. But yes, a small party usually works best. We'd usually, when we were still hosting, we'd have like our friends Dave and Linda over there, and that was pretty much it. Because they were cool. And there was not going to be any drama. But now, it's, I'm going to bring my cousin with me. Is that all right? Does he have 2 first names? Matter of fact, he does. We call him Joe Bob. Well, better not.
Jesse G says, I still despise the Kenny Rogers, a.k.a. the Gambler.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
there were so many of these people. When I was in college,
yeah,
because, college kids, you run into a lot of college kids who are just outright degenerates, mostly because they're still subsisting on their parents' money, and so they have disposable income, and it just all goes to gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the biggest Super Bowl parties I've ever attended were Super Bowl parties probably my freshman through junior years of college, where you'd have, 40 people, probably 40, 50 people in the same place, all watching. And you got like 6 or 7 of them that are living and dying literally with every single thing that happens because it affects one of their bets.
I
we're
haven't
sitting there trying to
encountered
watch
that
the
yet.
halftime show, and they have stopwatches timing how long the halftime show takes. Or no, it wasn't the halftime show. It was the national anthem. How long the national anthem takes. If you're betting on how long the national anthem takes at the Super Bowl, you need to get a life.
Yeah.
You need to find hobbies. You need to find something to occupy your time.
True.
It does not involve financial stakes.
That's crazy, though. But, yeah, nowadays, because you can bet on everything, and I can only imagine. Only imagine. All right, let's see. Let's get as many texts in as we can. By the way, is the best thing for OU football in 2025 that Brent Venables be the defensive play caller? And yes, 85%. No, 14%. The other 1% disappeared. So thank you, guys, and appreciate all your input on YouTube today. We're on YouTube now. We just got on YouTube 2 days ago with this show. Just get on YouTube, search KREF Radio. You can see me looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame again. Really bad.
The realist says, too much sleep, Steely has too much energy, and this is giving us classic rants today.
I slept all right, I guess, last night. I got about 5 hours. But I fell asleep on the couch for 45 minutes right after the Thunder game. By the way, great win for Oklahoma City. They dominated. But that is, again, Milwaukee, Scrub City, 125-96. But SGA had 30 in the first half. Ousmane Dieng had a great game, 21. By the way, you can tell, man, get out there and do what you can do. Because if there's a deal to be made, Ousmane Dieng might be a piece people might have a tiny bit of interest in. He plays like he did last night. So we'll see. All right, Parker, let's hit them all. You can do it.
Sooner E says, Steely, you are killing me. Kyle and Durant says, what would your uncle do to poop announcers?
I'm afraid my uncle might be one of those guys. Maybe. He'd probably put him in a headlock and have him carted out. Sleeper hold or something.
Chris from Knoxville says, y'all need a sponsor for Steely's rants, LOL. It's a moneymaker waiting to happen.
The Old Man's Rant is brought to you by Cracker Barrel.
And there it is.
There you go. Somebody hit up Cracker Barrel, but they're national, so I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in a while. Maybe you need to hit up Cracker Barrel.
I remember the last time I went to Cracker Barrel.
You'll get a good chicken fried steak there or something, some green beans and mashed potatoes.
I remember the last time I went to Cracker Barrel. It was August of 2020. I was just about to start my senior year of college.
Mm-hmm.
Went there with my roommate.
What'd you get? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
Was it like breakfast or lunch?
Yeah, it was breakfast. I do not remember what I got. But I've not set foot in Cracker Barrel since.
They have cornbread at Cracker Barrel, don't they? They've got to have cornbread there. That sounds good. Shay, we should hit up the Cracker Barrel. That's, man, our age group's over there now, so let's go.
You know how to solve the puzzle with the little golf tees?
I don't think, is that a Cracker Barrel thing?
Uh-huh.
Is it? Probably looked at it and thought this is too difficult and pushed it aside, would be my guess.
Could be.
Maybe. But that sounds good. Shay is not a big breakfast person because if I get to breakfast, I'm doing some damage. You know, neighborhood jam or one of the, cooler places or even at a Denny's, I'll do some damage.
Really?
IHOP, oh, yeah.
Denny's, Steely?
I mean, that's where Shay's dad used to want to go after some of our golf rounds. We go, well, just go to Denny's. All right, let's do it. Breakfast food is the best.
I ate Denny's on New Year's Day 2023 because I was in Orlando for the All-American game and there was nothing else open.
Sometimes, it's like, getting ramen noodles or something like that at breakfast. I don't know, but still all right. Okay, what else we have?
Krabby Sooner says, I was feeling very crabby today, and then I listened to Steely, and now I feel happy.
Really? Is that because I feel very angry? I mean, I just give you my observations. That's all. On sports and life, and I help you lead a better life. Isn't that what Wilfred Brimley said about what was he talking about? Some insurance company, right? Liberty or something? I think it was Liberty Mutual. Diabetes. Jimmy Zag is pretty good too. Yeah, I agree. Didn't Pete Carroll call defense at USC? That sounds like it's right, but I'm not positive.
You know who was on his offensive staff at USC around that time?
Norm Chow?
Well, Norm Chow, and also Sark.
Yeah, that's right.
Sark was on that staff.
And then Sark, man, holy. You remember that press conference clip I told you about? And you said,
yes.
Right on. It was like, Jesus. Otis Campbell from the Andy Griffith Show showed up at a USC presser. Wait a minute, that's Steve Sarkisian. Holy cow. So anyway. All right, 405-651-3439. It's been a few years, but a chicken fried steak. Last time you had one at Cracker Barrel. Caleb, Denny's was the first place I had to eat with my girlfriend of 3.5 years, and with her dad, and haven't been there since. So, but Shay doesn't like to get up and go to breakfast. That's a little too early for her. Not that she sleeps in. She's just not. I have to tell her, get some protein in you. Get a protein bar.
Is that your...
If she's listening now, will you tell her that you've got to fuel your body early, right?
Is that your primary source of protein? Protein bars?
That's not my primary source, but it's an easy source, if you're just...
Hey, cook you some eggs, Steely.
Mm-hmm.
Cook you some eggs. That's a good way to start the day. Some eggs and bacon. Or, I don't know, pick your breakfast meat of choice. A good day starts with eggs, though.
Yeah. I could see Parker being a chef influencer on TikTok.
A chef influencer?
Are you on TikTok?
I am not on TikTok.
Good
never
for
have
you,
been,
sir.
never will be. Is TikTok still functioning? Oh, yeah, because Trump got it restored, right? Or at least...
Greatest comeback since Lazarus, I think, for TikTok. Unfortunately, Lazarus was a great deal. This one, I wish TikTok would have stayed dead. That would have improved society.
Maybe the next big time project for the folks at Anonymous will be shutting down all social media. that might be a net positive for society.
I think it would be.
Those people are activists, aren't they?
We could all get back to nature and, not trying to cook somebody on social media. Because that means nothing. How many likes did I get today? You shallow, self-absorbed people. Yeah, I'm talking to you. We can be one with nature again and learn to love one another. Except for the ones with body odor. They're not so much. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'd be in favor of it. You've never been to Cracker Barrel, Tim? Give it a shot. There's some good country eating there. It's kind of like going to Grandma's restaurant, but it's not bad. In the gift shop, you'll always find something that, maybe I should get that candy. I haven't seen it in 20 years. Why not? Okay, we got to get out of here. I want to thank our friends at Riverwind. You guys, we'll see you on Friday, tomorrow at Cabins. Remote YouTube, that could be very interesting. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.